Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. You know, in boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone is well. Where is Big Gwoat? Where she go, folks? Is Big Gwoat out here in a secret training camp? Something going on. It's not like her to be quiet. I'm used to hearing stuff like this.
Girls who want to be the Gwoat, all you gotta do is make a fight with me. Alicia Baumgartner, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. All you gotta do is make a fight with me, and then I can show you you're not the Gwoat for many.
Now, that's what we used to hearing. Her talking her talk. Where y'all at, ladies? Let's hear that again, because she's gone so quiet that, you know, some people are saying they kind of miss hearing Big Gwoat. I don't know about all that, but where is all this?
Girls who want to be the Gwoat, all you gotta do is make a fight with me. Alicia Baumgartner, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. All you gotta do is make a fight with me, and then I can show you you're not the Gwoat for many reasons. Girls who want to.
Okay. Now, my thing is this. When it comes to Claressa Shields, we're trying to figure out what she's doing next. Now, I personally have an opinion. I think she could be going to Germany to fight. Now, I could be wrong. I already told you. I don't mind being wrong. But if she's not going to Germany to fight this woman right here, then I'll be honest with you, like I've been saying, that I don't know what she's doing. But it just sounds to me that Sarah Shurich is the ideal candidate. 7 wins, 4 knockouts. She has an IBF strap at 175 pounds. Claressa can easily have her come up to heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. But the problem is, when you take a look at Sarah, she has a placeholder there for her next fight, which is on July 3rd in Germany. Now, of course, you know, I want to think that Claressa can do that, but that just still seems like a short turnaround. That's why I suspect it may be a secret training camp. Now, when it comes to Big Gwoat, you take a look at her profile, you know, Big Gwoat doesn't have any of that going on. That's her record, you know, with the 18 wins, 3 KOs, okay? But you can see, you know, old T-Rex, Big Gwoat, she has nothing going on. There's no placeholder. If she had a fight scheduled, it would show. Last fight is when she fought Franchon Cruz. So, that being said, what the hell is going on? Is she resetting? Is it damage control? What exactly is going on with Big Gwoat? And that's what I want to talk about, because I think there's a whole lot going on. But that's what we do on the channel. We speculate, we make assumptions, we dialogue, then we make a prediction. Now, let me do this. You know, some people say, hey man, we like your thumbnails. Okay, you like the thumbnails? Well, here you go. Let's stretch this out. There you go. Now you got the thumbnail. Now, she was just recently in paradise, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Having a good old time out there in Aruba. And then Claressa Shields came back to the States. We haven't heard anything from her. She even went on a rant about Alicia Baumgartner. She's done a whole lot. Talked about the makeup. I don't even want to play that. You know, I'll just leave that alone. But I will play. I will play this.
So the hotel that
I'll play this for you. I'm not going to play that other piece. So this is what she had going on out there right before she came back.
Video of my makeup, right? So the hotel that we are at is all inclusive. It comes with you can book a massage every day. You can book makeup. You can book hair. You can book eyelashes, eyebrows, whatever you want to book. It's all inclusive. And so even taxes, everything all inclusive. So I booked a makeup appointment here at the hotel. So people are hitting me like, oh, you need a new makeup artist, you need this, you need that. My makeup artist has never played with me. When it comes to your boy Tay, never played with me. When it comes to Val up in Atlanta, has never played with me. I haven't really had nobody play on my face in the last couple, 2 or 3 years. So I just wanted to say like that. I wanted to clear that up. I'm not even in the USA to even have my makeup artist to be there with me. So now with that, I want to go on and say, I trusted the guy from the hotel to do my makeup, and he did what he did. Now, what I want to explain was, people spend so much time coming at me all day that I've always been a person not to go at people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will check people here and there, whatever. And at me all day that I've always been a person not to go at people. People spend so much time coming at me all day that I've always been a person not to go at people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will check people here and there, whatever. But I like to really like stop. Like, I don't want to ruin nobody's day. You know what I'm saying? So I could have went off on him and said, oh, I hate this makeup. What'd you do? But it's not really worth that. If you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth that. And I didn't want to make, ruin nobody's day and make them feel bad. Like, enough of y'all who do that to me on here, do that enough to me for me to go around doing it to somebody else. So I'm not about to go around doing that to nobody else. Make sure y'all see me. Now, y'all know I'm not.
Now, she said she doesn't want to go around doing that to anybody else, but then on that same live, she did go off and call someone out her name. But could it be that her team is saying, all right, Claressa, enough is enough. It's time to reset. Now, I'm going to tell you, man, with her going quiet and saying that she has a fight announcement coming up, but it hasn't been announced, her going silent has me talking. Because Claressa built a brand around constant visibility. One reason why the silence is becoming a major topic is because it represents a dramatic shift from what I've become accustomed to seeing from her. Now, y'all know I don't be on the internet like that, but I do see little clips, and when I get the clips of Claressa Shields, I'll watch it. I've never made it through a full live. I did see a lot of the one where she was talking about Shadesha. I didn't watch that live in entirety, but I saw a lot of it, and so I'll just leave that as that. But for Claressa, for years, man, she's been visible. Probably one of the more visible athletes. I'd say over the last year, she's become really desperate for attention. And she's done what she had to do to command attention and get people talking about her. So whether people supported her or they criticized her, she was almost always present in the conversation and making sure that she had an online presence to keep people talking. She was always responding to critics, but as you listen to her, it sounds like she doesn't want to ruin anyone's day. I mean, come on, we're all going to have an opinion on that one, but the bottom line is she's always responded to critics. She's always addressed media narratives. She's always discussed future fights. But surprisingly, she's not discussing the future fight right now. And we're looking at it. We're like, we're in June now. July, August, September, October, November, December. There's 6 months left in the year. How are you going to go and have 2 more fights? She's always out here commenting on other fighters and live on social media. So what happened with Claressa? She's conditioned people, fans, detractors, doesn't matter. She's conditioned them to expect constant communication. So now that there's a noticeable reduction, immediately becomes newsworthy, and that's why I'm talking about it. I think she's in a secret training camp, folks. And I do think that it's just a matter of time before she come out here, kick the door open, and be like, I'm back. Because I don't think she can stay away from the attention. I think she needs that validation. Now, her being silent creates a bit of a vacuum. I'm listening to some people, and I can tell as much as they don't like Claressa Shields, or they say they don't like her being quiet. So the whole thing is really interesting to me. You know, like I say, this is just like a case study. It's very, very entertaining. I'll leave it as that. Because I'm noticing that, human beings don't like uncertainty. They dislike the uncertainty, boy. When information disappears, speculation starts to fill the gap. That's why I'm having this conversation. You see, the less information people receive, the more theories begin circulating. That's what's starting to happen now. Now, I've been talking for months on my channel about 2027. People going to keep talking. Papoose better marry her, give her a kid something. If not, people are going to talk. And people already come. I know people sit on my channel and listen to us have discussions, because I see some of the videos being put out. I'm like, oh, they be listening to what we say. We the only ones that talk about certain things, very specific topics, and I've been talking about it for months. And now I'm seeing some people put stuff out. I'm like, oh, it's word for word what we say on my channel. And it's all good. It's all good. But that's what happens. The less information people have, and now they can't really come out here and take anything that someone said, like Clarissa's saying, they start looking elsewhere, man, to circulate videos, to come up with ideas. And those who don't do that, then all of a sudden they start to create these theories and they start to circulate it. And this is especially true when you have people who are accustomed to discussing celebrities and athletes. The moment someone becomes less visible, oh boy, man, people begin asking, okay, is something wrong? Are they preparing something? Has their team stepped in? Are they dealing with personal issues? Is a major announcement coming? Did their dog bite the cat? So see, the silence itself becomes a story. It becomes content. And that's why I'm doing this right now, because I'm watching the whole thing play out. I'm watching everybody. I'm watching Claressa Shields. I'm laughing. This shit is funny to me. Now, I will tell you, I'm speculating because I'm guilty. I ain't better than nobody else, man. Old Hood Champion believes there's a secret training camp going on. That's the theory I'm going to push. I 100% believe this, man. From a boxing perspective, this is perhaps the simplest explanation, and that's why I'm going there, because I am the boxing guy. I follow boxing, I love boxing, and I know when these athletes who don't never shut their mouth, it's because they got their asses in training camp. They can't have them damn phones. They can't be, it's a very regimented instruction. They can't be effing around. And with Claressa Shields' last training camp with Franchon, she stayed on the damn internet. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't making that up. So, you got to understand, her team, I do believe that maybe there's a chance they're saying, okay, we've dug ourselves in a deep, deep hole. And we got to figure out a way to get out of this. Because Claressa, you have the attention, but it's not good attention. So we need to figure out a way for all of us to focus. And we need you, who, as an elite fighter, to be able to lock in. Because whenever you're not focused in training camp and you out on this internet, you don't do nothing but dig a deep hole. And I do believe, if in fact she's fighting, matter of fact, let me show y'all this again, right? If she's fighting this woman, let me point something out here. Sarah Schurich, she's German. She's 6 feet tall. It doesn't show her reach. She got Claressa by like 4 inches. So she's a big woman. That, you know what that means? That means Claressa need to be locked in. That means that she can't play around. You know what I'm saying? She needs to have focus. Because the higher the level of competition, the more demanding camps begin. And this woman here, she can fight. But she's a big woman too. And that could be why Claressa is quiet, because they could not, if they're not preparing for her, I mean, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. If they're preparing for someone else, I'm just curious who it is. I'll be honest with you. I'm curious to find out who it is. But I think she's probably in a very demanding camp as far as what they expect from her mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and especially when it comes to the social media nonsense. Because every fight camp contains conditioning sessions, sparring sessions, strength training, recovery work, film study, nutritional planning. It doesn't involve social media sessions, Instagram sessions, Twitter sessions, YouTube live sessions. No, they don't have that crap. You see, all this stuff I just mentioned requires an enormous amount of time and energy, man. Can't be out here on the internet, man, talking crazy. You know, let me tell y'all this. Social media is not free. You may say, what you talking about, hood champion? Social media is not free. Many people underestimate the mental cost associated with living on this stinking internet. Criticism, criticism, criticism is mentally exhausting, especially when you allow these people who are on fishing expeditions to set that hook and reel your ass in and get you to respond to the negativity and the criticism. It costs you something. But when you're someone like Claressa, she out there on fishing expeditions too, throwing those shit out there, chumming the water, trolling, seeing who she could hook to watch her lives, watch her videos. Because she said, I make $5,000 a day, hood champion. Man, please. So, all right. But I'm telling you, I believe her team said, yo, she is taking a toll on her. She out here trying to explain herself, justify herself. She talking about the way she look. She talking about whether she don't need makeup. This is me. I'm just that fine. Man, please. I'm just fine. This is my glistening skin. I think they say, yo, she going a little bit Sesame Street here. Next thing you know, she gonna be there rolling with Bert and Ernie. We can't let that happen. And let me tell y'all this. Claressa Shields has been a fighter, and this is just for me as an observer, who seems to spend, hours online arguing, trolling people, and just not doing the recovering she needs. And she didn't seem to be doing that in her last fight with Franchon. And for this fight right now, whenever she's preparing for, I believe 100% they're like, no, we can't have all that bullshit. And that's why I have to ask the question, man, could her team be enforcing boundaries? Some say, hell no, Hood, she don't listen. I mean, I'm tracking. But could her team be enforcing boundaries? Many experienced trainers eventually reach a point where they tell a fighter, hold your horses, stop taking to the goddamn stupid. Stop this arguing bullshit online. Stop trying to prove points. Stop reading comments. Stop stirring the pot. Stop the fishing expedition. Stop chasing validation. Focus on boxing. That's what you need to do. Focus on boxing. It is possible that people around Claressa have recognized that distractions became too costly, especially when she went out there and put the bing bings, what up, what on Alicia Baumgartner, slapped her. I'm sure they realized, this is going to cost us something. And who knows? Maybe the legal shit has started. Maybe there's some paperwork that came across. Maybe there's something that's happened that has her and the team like, oh, man, we need to just disappear right now. But that's what happens when you have distractions that people create, that you create. When you go out there and decide that, I'm going to do this, and then you act, then you do it. You execute, you pull the trigger. Things become costly. And now the team has to do damage control. Claressa's not up in a way as a professional fighter, personally. She's not out here with a bunch of sponsorships and big-time branding deals. Nobody wants her to be the face of anything. I'm not saying that to be a cockahole. I'm telling you they don't. And they're not going to. You got to understand, marketing and someone being marketable and what all that entails. The key ingredient to someone being marketable and companies looking at them saying, I want them, is you have to be likable. And I'm just going to ask y'all, when it comes to Big Gwoat, some of y'all like her, some of y'all don't. But forget that. If you were a businesswoman, a businessman, and you said, I have this product and I really need this to sell. I need someone who inspires, who's likable, who motivates, who's out here doing great things. I need someone who is the example, who is the standard for greatness. Would you go and pick up Claressa Shields and say, hey, we want to make you the face of our company? Would you do that? And be real. Don't come out here talking out your cockahole and taking it to the stupid. Let's be real. And that's what I think her team could be. It just could be damage control and brand management at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because with Claressa, I think they've got it all wrong with her. They tried to go the villain road thinking it's going to result in Mike Tyson paydays, Floyd Mayweather paydays. Nah, the only payday she's getting is a goddamn candy bar with plenty nuts. Should have got the Snickers. Snickers satisfies you. Payday, just a goddamn bunch of nuts. All up in your mouth. All up in your mouth. But every brand eventually reaches a crossroads. Athletes are no longer just athletes. They're brands. Every interview matters. Every post matters. Every public appearance matters. When you just think about that, interviews matter. How do her interviews normally go? Every post matters. What kind of shit is she normally posting? Every public appearance matters. Think about her public appearances, especially the last couple. What happened there? Constant controversy, people. And displaying a bad attitude. You see this thing about constant controversy? Look, attention's valuable. But not all attention produces positive outcomes is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Some attention creates fatigue, negative headlines, sponsorship concerns, public relations problems. And that's why there's some damage control and some kind of brand management that's going on right now, is what I think. And when you think about that team, they're probably saying, yo, we need to be more professional. Everybody. This what we thought was going to work ain't working. And if advisors believe public conversations have drifted too far away from boxing, which they have, she does not talk about boxing. They may encourage a complete reset, which is what I think is going on. Their thinking could be, let's get people talking about your fights again. Let's get people talking about your accomplishments again. Let's get people talking about your championships again. Let's get you to leave them, make them miss you. Nah, we're giving them too much and it's not working. Let's make them miss you. Yeah, leave them thinking. Make them hungry. Don't feed them no more. Starve them out a little bit. And I think in doing so, the goal would probably be moving the conversations away from controversy and back towards competition. That's the way you reset. But I'm just telling you, man, all that sounds good. I'm just having a conversation. I could be totally wrong because there's a possibility of personal priorities changing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's thinking beyond competition. Who knows what's going on? I'm just having a conversation with you. But one thing I know, I think some people are overlooking is that the professional athletes age differently. And Claressa Shields, she keeps talking about, sacrificing and, she wants family and she wants marriage. And, of course, she just came off a vacation. She's looking for stability. You know what I mean? I don't know what their plans are. Of course, we all have opinions, but I mean, they look like they're rolling and shit. I know we all have opinions. We don't know if they're going to be together, not going to be together, but they still rolling this shit. Is this shit going to last forever? I mean, we don't know, but we're watching. So when people are like, why do you guys talk about them? You asking me as a content creator? She's a boxer. We're going to talk about her. But your fans call in and they talk about her. They have opinions, just like Claressa has opinions on people. It's a live call-in. What are they supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? You're talking about it. You watching the videos. You want everybody channel watching shit. So why you watching? Nosy. Get out of here. Claressa Shields been trending for a long time, man. People are going to talk about her. And I'm telling you right now, they'll never stop talking about Claressa Shields. Because you just think about this, family. Think about stability. Think about children. That shit ain't going to stop. She put it out there. So people are going to be watching her, talking about her 2027 all the way till infinity. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this. I'm at a point where I'm asking, okay, what comes next? That's what I'm talking about. I talk about the other stuff, but I'm like, what comes next? What's life after boxing looking like for Big Gwoat? And I'm sure she's asking herself, what kind of family do I want? What kind of legacy do I want? This thing with these kids. I'm sure she asks herself sometimes, is Papoose that guy? Is that it? Papoose, Papoose, I'm sure she has those conversations. Because she hears what people say. She be on people's lives, sitting in the bushes. And who knows, maybe her perspective on everything's changing, especially when you start talking about family, you start talking about kids, and if you already wanted to have kids at 30, now you're going 31, next year be 32, and you're talking about future family goals publicly, and everybody's watching now. You're like hawks. People out here, man, they're on it. But I'm telling you, when anyone's considering parenthood, priorities often change. And all of a sudden, internet arguments seem less important, social media battles seem less important, public validations become less important, long-term planning becomes more important. Now, has she reached that point? I don't know. But we'll find out soon enough, because you know what I mean? The comet is coming. But see, this is what happens when you share too much. Then you got the burden of public expectations. People like with me, I have no expectation of Claressa Shields. But other people, I think they expect to see something happen, the end of this year, next year, 2028. As everyone right now, let me tell you what people are looking at. They're looking at what we've been talking about for months on my channel. For months during the lives. We always talk about it. And now other people are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? The marriage. The children. You see what I'm saying? But she's created these challenges by being highly transparent, because the audience, which everyone really, they remember everything. You make a prediction, you make a promise, you have a goal, you have a declaration. They're watching, they're listening. They're keeping score. So you say you want 2 more fights, they're like, okay, where are they? You say you want another championship, when's she gonna fight for a belt? Say you want to start a family, oh yeah, where's the ring? Say you want children, oh, when's she gonna get pregnant? Say you want to have certain opponents, oh, when's she gonna fight that person she called out? When you say shit like that, those statements create expectations. You know what I'm saying? But silence becomes difficult. The more public commitment someone makes, the harder it is to become, I think, to just disappear quietly. Because that just makes the fans and the content creators talk even more. Because they're like, yo, ain't no updates? What's going on? What's this, what's that? That just gives them more content. The more quiet you are, the more they talk. If you talk, you give them specific stuff, they can just keep the conversation centered around that. Because they're getting what they would feel are updates and some kind of progress, some kind of explanation. And this is one reason why public figures like Claressa, they get trapped by their own words. So the more she gives us, the less we have to talk about, if that makes sense. But the less she gives us, the more we have to talk about, because you start speculating and making assumptions. And then you see a lot of shit floating around here where people are just reaching. I saw some shit today. I was laughing. I ain't gonna say who it was. I said, this motherfucker is just out there with just trying to fucking put in. As a female too. And I'm like, she's fucking horrible, man. Because she's just, and I ain't gonna say who it is, but just, I'll just leave it at just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And not saying anything disrespectful, but just, you could tell that there's some people who are struggling, that Claressa is not giving anything right now. And I'll say this person that's coming to my inbox, and said a few things, and I didn't respond, but I just noticed that the movements, and I'm like, come on now. I'm always trying to root for the ladies and shit, but this one here, man, I'm just like, do what you want. But I just laughed at some of the shit I saw put out today. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, when you keep going viral, constant virality, it becomes addictive. Social media creates powerful psychological reinforcement for people, especially when they're not used to receiving it. If they get a notification, no matter what the notification's about, it just lets them know someone's thinking about me. If topics are trending, it creates excitement. Every viral moment gives them attention. So it's addictive. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like, oh, these people talking about me, they're thinking about me. Man, please. But that's not always good. There's a big, big challenge because that attention begins feeling normal. Silence begins feeling uncomfortable. Some people eventually become dependent upon being discussed. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think she will be back on here very soon, and she probably is already out here doing stuff. And y'all just know I don't be on the internet like that, but I think stepping away is difficult. But she has to. You're spending, months and months, almost going on a year, maybe more than a year. Being one of the most talked about figures in the sport, man. You're trying to step away from that internet, especially if you're making that kind of money. Even I know she ain't making no $5,000 a day, but let's say she's making $30,000 a month. Yeah, that's still all right. You know what I'm saying? You're making that kind of money. It's hard because stepping away starts to feel unnatural, especially when you are used to that little money coming in. It can make a person feel like they're losing relevance because they have that addiction. They need to get that hit, that fix. And then they start feeling like they're losing control of the narrative because people are out here speculating, assuming, and having conversations. And I do think there's a certain level of anxiety that they experience. And that's why it's difficult they try to step away, but you come back. Therefore, if Claressa is truly taking a break, that I think it's a deliberate decision made by her and her team. And it could represent discipline by her team because they know she's weak in that area. And it could show that overall the team collectively is maturing and not necessarily just avoiding anything. It's like learning from their mistakes. But we'll find out soon enough, won't we? The next post alive that comes from Claressa Shields, we'll know what's going on. But I'm just saying, 2 more fights this year. The timeline is tight, people. 2 championship level fights in a single year, and we're in June. That requires planning. Camps require weeks. Recovery requires weeks. Negotiations require time. There's little to no margin for error if she's going to fight 2 more times. She can't get injured. That delays plans. There can't be nobody out here being difficult with negotiations. That delays plans. And you can't have an opponent with issues where the opponent gets hurt or the opponent wants this or that. That delays plans. But if she accomplishes it, I'm telling you, fans are probably going to view it as evidence that she remains fully committed to boxing and somehow was able to pull it off. They're still going to be questioning the opponent because it's like, okay, who does she fight? And it would show that, hey, some activity there, that, she still has the discipline and ability to lock in when it comes to training camp and boxing, because that's where she's undefeated and that's the only pure thing what seems to be in her life right now. And I think it would show that she's able to follow through and do the business. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But as far as her legacy, I'm going to tell you this. Legacy is bigger than headlines. I don't know what they're thinking. Me, I just like to have conversations. But I'll say this, man. Boxers, athletes, I think at some point in time, they reach a point where legacy matters more than attention. Some get the legacy up front and then start to chase the attention later, and then their career ends. But others chase the attention up front, then lock in and want the legacy. And that's difficult to achieve, especially when you didn't have the discipline early in your career. But there are some who figure out the right balance between legacy and attention, and they do just fine. But for Claressa to have all these historical accomplishments, championships may still matter to her. I mean, having the ability to influence other fighters, maybe she's watching what's going on at MVP and saying, I want to be like that too. To herself, maybe she's looking and saying, man, I want to be like that. I want to be received, people to appreciate me. But, I don't think she can ever, correct that shit that happened out there with slapping Alicia. I know some people like, nah, that's real. She stood 10 toes down, whatever that means. Those are the people that Claressa need to stay far away from. That was one of the worst decisions she could have ever made. And going at Layla Ali. And, listen to the ladies are saying, being with, Papoose, especially how the ladies feel about that whole situation. But I'll tell you one thing. We just want to see what you gonna do. What you gonna do, Big Gwoat? We don't want any of this arguing crap. We don't want these viral moments. We don't want more controversy. We definitely don't want you out here slapping and hitting people. You know what I mean? We want answers through actions. So who is it going to be? Who's the next opponent? When's the next fight? What's the long-term plan? Can the focus remain on boxing? Can you get back to boxing? I know you're probably saying, man, please, hood champion. We already doing that. Pat, Poos, Pat, tell him, Pat. All right. If that's the case, cool. Probably one of the most fascinating parts of the whole situation is that nobody outside Claressa Shields or her inner circle truly knows why she's become quieter. And it could be because she's probably saying, hood champion here, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. We already on it. We working. We doing that. And I'm not going to come out and say nothing. I'm going to starve him. So it could be a signal of a serious training camp. Could be a brand reset. Could be changing priorities. Could be strategic damage control. Whatever the reason, I know this. The next few months could be some of the most important of her career because fans are no longer waiting for explanations. Detractors aren't waiting for explanations. Content creators aren't waiting for explanations. People out here who are neutral aren't waiting for explanations. They want results. You talk the talk, walk the walk. Anyway, after Aruba, she could be in a secret camp. No posts, no lives, no drama. Where did the Big Gwoat go? Is this reset or damage control? Or is Hood Champion just taking it to the goddamn stupid? Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.